"I just love your entryway" is a phrase spoken by no one upon entering our apartment. Okay, so just to give you a very vague idea of what I'm working with here, got this somewhat narrow entryway with a weird but highly appreciated notch, an absolutely gorgeous view of a nice blank wall upon arrival, les toilettes, and then our hallway with this pretty big and quite cavernous entryway closet, which is essentially just a dumping ground for all of our stuff as soon as we come through the door, and it gets really messy. And over on this side we have some stacking stools for guests, as well as a space for our daughter's buggy. And finally, as you make your way through to the kitchen, you're greeted by these beautiful IKEA recycling bins because there's nowhere else for them to go. Now, none of this is really a problem when this space is tidy, but unfortunately, it never is, simply because this closet is just so full, which means that there's a bunch of friction whenever it comes to putting our own things away, which often leads to things being scattered around the house and all over the floor. And then when we have guests over, the first thing that they see is this characterless and lifeless space, which has no storage for any of their stuff. So ideally, this is something that I'd like to fix by creating a beautiful entryway that creates a good first impression, and one that involves a lot less friction in keeping itself tidy. So I'm hoping that this is going to help me with our entryway problem. What this is a shoe cabinet that is only 17 centimeters deep, which makes it absolutely perfect for corridors or spaces which are just a little bit too narrow for a proper piece of furniture. So now what I'm going to try and do is put this all together and see how it looks. And I've got my fingers crossed that it all fits without making the space feel too small. Last Sunday fell. It's over, it's all we get. Now your eyes are feeling sad. Honestly, it's pretty crazy that this furniture piece sticks out from the wall so little, yet allows us to hold an additional 8 pairs of shoes. But to help with the way that this thing looks, I actually decided to not install the leg pieces that came with it and to have it floating on the wall by partially resting its weight on our baseboards instead, which I think makes it look a lot cleaner and less imposing, as you're no longer really at risk of stubbing your toe. The thing is that this still adds pretty much zero character or warmth to the space, so after waiting almost an eternity, I finally decided to pick myself up a miter saw to do a little bit of furniture hacking, and hopefully turn this into a truly beautiful furniture item on a budget. It's kind of crazy how much functionality you actually get out of a super shallow storage unit like this, and even more so how it even manages to fit in a narrow entryway like ours without making it feel crowded. And because it's so easy to use, our shoes no longer get left all over the floor, and the extra storage space it provides means that our recycling can be hidden away inside our closet. So now when guests come over, our entryway can actually leave a good first impression and even provide them with a small perch for putting on shoes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this makeover as much as I did doing it, and if you have been enjoying the videos lately and would like to support my work, my biggest support is actually watch all of my content ad-free over on Nebula, which I personally use to watch videos like those from Johnny Harris 1 week early, as well as get access to bonus content from one of my favourite creators right now, Not Just Bikes. Nebula is a place where me and a bunch of other creators like Johnny and Jason have come together to post content that isn't subjected to the YouTube algorithm, with all of its clickbait and hyper retention focused bias, which frees us up to post what's important rather than what's just optimal. And when you sign up, you also get access to Nebula originals like those from City Beautiful, as well as classes like Bright Trip's ABCs of Architecture, which are all now a part of your subscription too. If you sign up using my unique link below, you support me directly and get a whopping 40% off an annual plan, which works out to be just over $2.50 a month. And of course, you can find links to everything that I've mentioned in this video down in the description below. Just can't get over how satisfying that is.